Hello and welcome to KDP with a Twist podcast. I'm Tammy Crin, a self-publishing enthusiast, and I'm dedicated to helping you grow your business by adding a new twist to the KDP self-publishing world. I've been branding booklets for businesses since 2018. I'm the founder of KDP for B2B, which stands for Kindle Direct Publishing for Business to Business. We'll explore how to leverage your KDP self-publishing skills by helping businesses create branded booklets featuring their content. If you're interested in starting and growing your own KDP for B2B business, you've come to the right place. I'll introduce you to a few ways that you can get paid to help businesses create their own branded booklets without keywords or ads. Yes, that's right, without keywords or ads. This is what I call a triple win. The business elevates its brand, adds value to its customers, and stands out from their competition. You get paid a setup fee for each book created, plus you can make money for every book sold. And customers feel as though they have received a gift and something they will use and love. Join me every Tuesday as I will share some practical tips and advice on how you can get your own KDP for B2B adventure started. Are you ready? Let's go. Hi there, welcome to KDP with a Twist. I am Tammy Crin, the host of the show, and I'm going to share with you today, now what do I do? This little segment I came up with I thought would be really fun because I know I was in the same spot as you as I went out and I met with a business and they were super excited about me creating those branded booklets for them. And then I was like, now what do I do? So I'm going to give you some of these tips on what to do after that first initial kind of talk about branded booklets with the business. And now everyone's excited. And now you have to come up with, what do I do next? So let's go. So now what do I do is you're going to start first of all by setting up an appointment before you leave them. If you met them either through an online social media platform, see if you can get that appointment set up for your first talk about the branded books. The second thing is if you're meeting in person, say you're at a function and it's all fun and everyone's excited and doing all stuff, make sure you can try to get them to commit to a time and date to meet with you. Now that can be on Zoom and it can be in person, whatever works for you. I like to get that scheduled because the business owners, what I found is they're very busy. Once they leave that part of like the initial talk, they kind of like can kind of not really get things rolling and may not want to book an appointment down the road just because they got busy or they delay. So get that appointment right up front and schedule that first meeting. I think that helps a lot. Also, it just gets them to know you've committed to a time, they've committed to a time, and it keeps that excitement still rolling because you're going to meet up with them. So I'd like you to get a piece of paper because I'm going to give you some little nuggets here, and I want you to write down a few of these steps. So the first one is when the initial, like I said, at the function you were at or on social media and you've talked to the business owner, I would suggest going home, or if you're at home already, is going to their website. Do a little bit of investigating on what type of business it is. Is there anything that kind of stands out on their website? Do they have a PDF to download as a checklist? What type of services do they have? What type of products are they selling? These are type of things that I'm looking for as I'm looking on a website or on their social media. And the reason that I'm doing that is I'm gathering information to learn what type of business this is, how can I help them brand a booklet for their clients, what type of service, like I said, services and products are they having, and how will that all fit in? So I do a little homework prior to my first meeting. So that has been so helpful because a lot of times I don't know a lot about their business, and the first meeting isn't really always diving in deep about their business. Maybe it's high level, just what they do. And I found that going onto their website or social media, it gives me a lot of insight and a lot of information to gather and have that for the next meeting. So I feel like I'm prepared to go into that meeting as well. And so I found that has been really helpful. All right, number 2. So now let's pretend you're at the first meeting, either Zoom or in person. And like I said, you can do whatever works for you. you just don't want to overwhelm them. I know I've done that when I first started. I was sort of so excited to get their branded booklet for them. And you have to remember too, this is a little bit of a new concept in the sense of self-publishing for them and taking care of all of these pieces. So I didn't really want to overwhelm them on the process yet, in the sense of we're just going to do a high level dig in on what type of booklet would be great for their business. So what I would suggest doing is going back and sharing that you did go onto their website and that you saw some ideas that you had, and give them like an example that you saw the PDF checklist. And that's a great way to get the conversation started with, logs and checklists. Booklets might be a really good way. Maybe they have a business that you could use more of a guide or a notebook or something that will fit in that sort of low content area. Now, guides might be a little bit more advanced, but the guides, they usually have all the information. So you don't have to create this information. You just get the information from the client and you put it all into a booklet for them. So I would suggest getting high level, bring your books and show them what you have, kind of the idea of what you're thinking. It doesn't have to be the same company either. It can be something completely different, but just to give them an idea of what it could look like. Even the line journals is just kind of like the simplified way. So that's what I would do next, is just do a high level brainstorm with them and talk about things that you can offer, like QR codes and how QR codes can work for them. They can take the QR code and put it on the booklet, or you can, and put it on the booklet, and then it can have all their contact information. Or you can use they can use the QR codes on their booklets as to a YouTube video. Maybe they're training or they're telling someone how to do something. Maybe it's for cooking or examples or anything like that. You can use a QR code to go to a video as well. And that gets them kind of excited to know the book becomes more of an interactive book. So I always talk about QR codes. They understand QR codes. They like them. It really opens up a conversation, and they see how they can use some videos that they may have, some training or idea videos or anything like that they can use. The other thing is do this as more of a high level brainstorm. You don't have to have all the facts at once. I don't really like to get everything done in that one meeting. It's just too much information. I just want to try. My goal is getting them to think outside of just types of books that they think are just literature books. That happens a lot. So that's a key point there, is they think only literature books, not like checklists and logs and trackers and journals and notebooks. They don't think of that. So you have to kind of keep them in that lane. And if they have a course that they're doing and they have a program, where you can take that program and put it into the book. So you can kind of just give them that high level idea of how to use that. The other thing that when I'm at a meeting, I like to have, what I've noticed over the time is that I had so many notes. And I used to just use, a notebook or whatever. I'd bring it to the meeting and I sit down and, try to write down all the information and everything. It was getting overwhelming. So this tip for you I have is, because I was overwhelmed, and then a lot of times the business owner is busy and they're kind of all over the place. Sometimes they have to run and go do something and come right back. And then what were you talking about? So what I like to do, and I'll share this with you, is I created a discovery book, and actually Susie Clark, who helps me with stuff, we have created a discovery book. And the reason that I have this for the clients is it keeps everything in one spot. And what this booklet does is help you stay on track. So I have like the client, I'll show you in the client's information. So I'm going to start there, and then I'll have something like what's the author's name. You can just start going over the high level book setup. Maybe they have a title already, the name of the company, book size. You don't have to go down into this too deep at the first meeting, but if it does come up and they go, I already know I want it to be an 8x5x11. So, okay. How many pages? They may come up with an answer like, I think it's 32, but it doesn't have to be decided right then. The other thing is then you can say, okay, they're talking about a log or a tracker. That's going to be good. So we just mark the little box there so I don't have to write this all down. And it also keeps me informed on what questions to ask and what I've already asked. And the other thing that I found that I don't like to do or bug the client or bug the business owner about is keep asking repeated questions that I've already asked them. Because sometimes there is a delay for the next meeting and I may not find my notebook, find the notes I took. I know I have one place for everything and I just put it in this book for each business. This particular booklet here, I have it for 4-in-1, so it's 4 businesses. I do have these available for sale on my website, or I'll drop the link in the show notes as my brand. But what I suggest is I have the template for you. You can take the information and create your own branded booklet since that's what you do. And it's a great way to brand yourself. And it also is very, very helpful keeping organized. And I'm really all about staying organized and not wasting a business owner's time, or in fact, my time. My time is valuable as well. So that is called a book discovery. I'll drop the links in the show notes about how you can get that. But I just wanted to let you know that that was something I love and keep so organized with that. And so that's basically the first meeting I go to. And I just think that as you get comfortable and more of these meetings, it gets way easier and you get into a rhythm. So don't be so hard on yourself when you're out there. Just do your best. Like I said, stay organized, gather information. That's what the first meeting is about. And the other thing I would really want you to think about is ask them what their timeline is. Now this is important. So this little piece here I found to be sometimes business owners are unrealistic. They want it done in a week, and I can't do all that in a week. So if you can, great. But a lot of times you have to be careful with, it isn't so much, it's gathering the information. It's sometimes the business owner delays getting you the information. So now you're down to maybe 3 days after they get time to get their logos and branding and all the information they want back and forth talking. And the other thing is sometimes Amazon delays or any of your self-publishing companies can delay and then you're stuck. So I will give you this. I like a month. Like I want a month because just gathering the information back and forth, getting all that, putting it together, back and forth with that a little bit, and then publishing it. And then sometimes I also like to get a book myself and look at it before the first one. So it takes a little time. So don't cut yourself short there. Give yourself some time. So I asked that question to the business owner. What are your expectations with this book? Like sometimes they already have an idea. It's like I'm having a party, or I'm having an event, I should say, or I'm having I'm hosting this event and I want to have all these branded booklets there, or they're going to have some type of challenge and now they need the book by a certain date. So ask them that and be realistic. Give yourself time, because it's not always your end of the delay. It could be their end of a delay where they don't, like I said, don't get you the information you need to put the book together. It happens a lot. Or they wait till the last minute and then it gives you no time. So give yourself what you feel is the appropriate time. For me, it's a month, and that seems to work really well, and I don't feel stressed because I hate that feeling when you're coming to the deadline and now the books aren't here, and sometimes it's out of your control. Okay, so basically let's run this through. You ran into someone, they're the business owner at some event or online or whatever you did. You talk high level. They love the idea of branding the book for their business. Now set up the meeting. Do it now. Do it then. Don't wait. I'm telling you, I've been a business owner and I get busy. I am a business owner, I should say. And I get busy, but when I had my brick and mortar business, I would get back to work and be like, oh, I forgot to email them or schedule. So don't just do it now. Everyone has a lot of their calendars with them on their phones, everything. So do that. Book and schedule the next appointment. You've met at the first initial meeting. Now you have a scheduled meeting. You're going to go back home, or if you're at home, go on their website, look at all their information, find out all about their business. You don't have to be the expert, but you do need to know something about them, and it does help you suggest with the books. So that is my suggestion: social media, website, information. Then you're now heading to the meeting. Bring your discovery book. I'm telling you, this helps so much about what types of pages to put, checkbook, checklist, everything. All your information. This follows the bookshelf on KDP. It will help you get all the important information in one spot. You have your discovery book and you're filling that out. The next question would be, the biggest one is, when do you need this book by? What does that time frame look like for you? And like I said, maybe this book isn't going to be the first one they can get done for their challenge, but you could always say, let's do it for your next challenge, or let's do it for your next event if it's too tight and too close. Don't just do it because of the pressure. I'm telling you, you'll be stressed out, because sometimes, like I said, it's not your fault. So that is basically my thing for you to know is, the first meeting is fantastic. Just let that be fun and exciting. Then the next one is when you start diving into the work, and keeping yourself organized. Communication's great. Make sure you know what their expectations are, and then set up the next meeting, and you go from there. So I hope that gave you the now what do I do solution. All right, I'll see you on the next podcast. Well, that's a wrap. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. If you know anybody else struggling with KDP and not making sales, or even having trouble with ads and keywords, please share KDP with a Twist podcast, or have them subscribe to my YouTube channel. At KDP with a Twist podcast, I'll be going over lots of strategies every Tuesday, and I'll be putting this information into small chunks, so it'll make it easier to digest. And then you can get started making money with KDP for B2B ASAP. For more information, go to my website. Make sure you get on the email list so you can stay in the loop with all things KDP. My website name is my name, Tammy Crin. That's it, TammyCrin.com. TammieChrin.com. It'll also be in the transcripts below. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe. And thank you for your time, and bye for now.